Welcome to The Wager Lounge, presented by Sports on the Rocks with Ken Larimer, available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. There is nothing better today than good company, good food, and watching football on the couch with your drunk aunt as she asks, "Why do you care so much about this game?" Today's slate gives us plenty to be thankful for, as for the 22nd time on Turkey Day, we'll get the Lions off an against the spread loss to the bottom of the league Bears versus the Packers, who are 8-12-1 straight up, versus the Lions all time on Thanksgiving. The frisky Commanders with a young, unpredictable Sam Howell versus a Cowboys team that is favored by 13.5 and is 7-3 against the spread this season. And the future Super Bowl champion 49ers facing off versus the Seahawks in a game to decide the AFC North. And like always, I have some winning picks for each game, starting with Game 1. Lions minus 7.5. Don't overthink last week's performance. The Lions already beat the Packers by 14 in Green Bay earlier in the season, and these two teams haven't changed much since. Detroit is 6-2 against the spread as a home favorite this season, and I see a similar performance playing out in this one with St. Brown, Laporta, and Gibbs giving the Packers more than they could handle in the air, and Montgomery controlling the game on the ground, which brings me to my next pick. David Montgomery anytime touchdown. Montgomery has found his stride in Detroit. In every locker room or post-game interview, he seems so thankful for the team around him, and that will be very on brand for his Thanksgiving matchup versus a Packers team that has allowed 8 touchdowns to running backs in 10 games, 3 of which were scored by Montgomery himself in Week 4. Next up, Jordan Love over a half interception. The juice is high on this one, and for good reason. Love has 10 interceptions through 10 games and donated 2 to the Lions in their last matchup, who have 8 interceptions this season. Unless you want to lay around minus 170, this pick is for a same-game parlay. Next up, game number 2. Cowboys minus 12.5. Dallas is 4-0 straight up at home, and their last 4 wins have been by an average of 20.25 points. The Commanders just lost to Tommy DeVito and the kind of tanking Giants by 12 points at home, and like a stripper during NBA All-Star Weekend, rookie Sam Howell is in for a long day of work on his back. The Cowboys beat up on bad teams, and the Commanders are exactly that. I could see a game with a 34-17 final score that would be a great game to go enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with the fam. Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown plus 220 and first touchdown plus 1,000. Drawing almost 7 targets per game in his last 4 games, Ferguson has also scored in 3 of those games and is also a big target for Prescott in the end zone. Pair this with the fact the Commanders have allowed 5 different tight ends to score, and you have a recipe for a yummy Thanksgiving anytime touchdown bet. Sprinkle a little something on him to score the first touchdown for a fun holiday bet that will fill your wallet for Black Friday shopping. Dak Prescott over 12.5 rushing yards. Prescott is averaging 14 rushing yards per game, and I can see the Commanders' D trying to cover everyone and forgetting that Prescott has legs. He has gone over this number 6 out of 10 games, and he only needs one big play to exceed it. And lastly, game number 3, 49ers minus 7. Holy shit, I just realized I picked straight chalk on Thanksgiving. But sometimes, that's just how it plays out. Am I a square? Maybe. But I find it hard to pick against 3 teams that could easily be in this year's Super Bowl, playing against 3 teams that won't even make the playoffs. The 49ers especially are healthy and going against the Seahawks team that could be without their starting quarterback in Geno Smith and their starting running back in Kenneth Walker III. George Kittle over 49.5 receiving yards. Over his last 4 games, Kittle is averaging 108 receiving yards on 8 receptions per game. The Seahawks have given up 65 plus to 4 different tight ends this season, and Purdy will have time to sprinkle the ball around to his favorite targets. Christian McCaffrey 2+ touchdowns at +240. CMC has an unreal 15 touchdowns on the season, 14 on the ground, 5 in the air, and he has 3 multi-touchdown games this season. And I envision a primetime matchup that has the 49ers running at will on a Seahawks defense that has allowed 10 touchdowns to running backs this season and 2 multi-touchdown games to running backs. Now, it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without a full day parlay. And of course, I've put together a 6-legger side and anytime touchdown parlay that pays 51-1 for the ultimate sweat while your entire family tries to solve the Israel-Gaza conflict over drinks. Pulling from my previously mentioned picks, Lions -7.5, Montgomery anytime touchdown, Cowboys -12.5, Ferguson anytime touchdown, 49ers -7, and CMC 2+ touchdowns, and that parlay pays 51-1. To check out more of my picks and content, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at SportsOTRocks. And if you like the Wager Lounge, please like, subscribe, and check out my podcast, Sports on the Rocks with Ken Larimer, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Good luck gambling around your family today, and like always, happy betting. I'll see you later.